Hi there, welcome to our garden. And today I'll share with you what's in our garden. And we'll start over here. Okay, let's see, why don't we start here? I guess I should tell you that my husband is the one filming, John and I started gardening 8 years ago, and we started with these 2 beds right here. And every year we plant a little bit more and we add a little bit more. So I guess we'll start here with a pollinator. This is the butterfly weed, and it's supposed to attract butterflies. And here we have some kale, and we have some peppers that you can also grow in a pot. And over here we have another perennial. This is salvia, and it's also supposed to attract butterflies and bees. And these 2 are eggplants, and more eggplants here. And we love our cucumber plant, a lot of cucumbers in here. We hope that we get a nicer bunch this year. And careful not to step on this sprawling watermelon plant. But next to the watermelon is the peppers, and this pepper is doing very nicely here. And here's another one growing. And we have back here cantaloupe, and I'm really happy with this cantaloupe plant. I sowed these cantaloupe plants from seed I started in February from cantaloupe that we get at an organic farm. And there's a lot of stuff growing here. And here we have morning glory. I've never planted morning glory in our garden ever, but somehow they just appear, and they've been appearing the last couple of years. And when they bloom into beautiful white or blue or pinkish flowers. Oh, and then here, oh yes, we have radishes and morning glory, just, hanging everywhere like a vine. And here we have, this is the Greek oregano. And we have here some strawberries and blazing stars. These grow like weeds. They're beautiful. I transplanted these from our garden in the front of the house, and they just bloom beautifully. And this one is ironweed. It's very, very tall, and it'll start to flower now in July through September. And it's also supposed to attract butterflies and bees. And we've had a few bees here, and I've only spotted so far just one monarch butterfly. And we continue over here. I love potatoes, and I love planting potatoes. And you can plant potatoes anywhere, in any container. And these potatoes I planted from a couple of potatoes that we get at an organic farm. And it's important that they have the eyes on the potato to plant. And I just planted these maybe 3 weeks ago. They're doing beautifully. And here are some carrots and more potatoes, red potatoes. And here, I believe these are Yukon potatoes that I planted last week. So they're just starting to sprout. And they're great. They're great. Let's see, if we continue over here, you'll see some tomatoes that I also sowed from seed back in February from tomatoes that we get at an organic farm. And right here in the middle, you'll see some cilantro. We love cilantro, and some lettuce. That little leaves keep, every time we cut lettuce, more grows back. And over here we have cabbage, but the cabbage this year, the bugs started to to eat the leaves. And you might notice that we're underneath a canopy here. For the last 2 weeks, we've had a heat wave. And to protect many of our vegetables, especially those that are heat intolerant, we put this tent over. But you'll notice that the vegetables over there, the peppers, oh, those are our hens, Gracie and Ruby. They want to get in the act too. But heat tolerant vegetables are cantaloupe and watermelon and peppers and cucumbers and eggplant. So hopefully they'll do well. Okay, and here we have the Oni broccoli plant. It's not doing well, but that's the thing about gardening. You never know what you're going to get. There are things you can't control, like pests, although I have been sprinkling ash from our fireplace that we save throughout the year, and that's supposed to help keep the pests away, because we don't use any insecticides or pesticides, but ash is natural. We have another beautiful tomato plant. Here we have a ginger plant, ginger root. We love ginger root. We make natural ginger ale with ginger root. You just boil the ginger root and you pour maybe this much ginger root and 12 ounces of ice cold seltzer, and you get wonderful, wonderful tasting ginger ale. And here we have zucchini, and the little challenge that we have with the zucchini is that you need a female and a male plant, and if we only have females and no male, it's hard to get zucchini from them because we can't pollinate them. And here is Italian oregano over here. This has been here for over 8 years, and every year we get tons of it, and every year I cut it and it lasts us the entire year for our cooking. And here is tarragon. I've never planted tarragon, but apparently it's a shoot off from the asparagus that we also planted, I think 8 or 7 years ago. And so let's see what we have here. Yes, beets. We love beets, so I got some organic beet seeds, and I think it's looking good. It's looking pretty good. And here we have more tomatoes. And again, these came from, I grew them from seed beginning in February, and I transplanted them in May, and they're doing beautifully. And this is butterfly bush, which is also has a good fragrance and is supposed to attract bees and butterflies. And let's see, oh yeah, we see these pots, we have tons of spearmint. Spearmint is essentially a weed, and they can like suffocate the other plants, so I uproot them, put them in pots, and then I also have them inside our house on the kitchen table in vases with water. And if you just take a piece of spearmint, the fragrance is wonderful. And it's also good for Ruby and for Gracie. On hot days, I put a little bit of spearmint leaves in their water. It's supposed to cool them down and also to calm them in the heat. So this is our, our beautiful vegetable garden. And gardening is not an exact science. You never know what you're going to get, but there's magic in gardening. If you want to learn more about gardening and how we got started, I'll leave the link to my blog. I write about many things, including gardening. Oh, there's a couple of bees buzzing around. All of this is free of pesticides, free of insecticides, all natural, grown here. And This is, I cannot have any food with chemicals like pesticides, insecticides, and preservatives and additives, and food coloring, and steroids, antibiotics, and hormones in meat and poultry. Because for 26 years, I suffer from eosinophilic esophagitis and food infections until 2002 when, after a year of unsuccessful medically prescribed diets and medications that made things worse, I figured out what the cause was, and it was chemicals. So I created my own diet. I call it the Miriam Diet, and I was on it for 8 weeks back in August, September of 2022, and a biopsy and an endoscopy medically confirmed that I no longer have eosinophilic esophagitis, or EOE. My eosinophil count from 100 went down to up to 0, and I have not had a food infection episode since 2022. And if you have eosinophilic esophagitis and you still cannot find relief, I also have several articles about the diets that worked and didn't work, and how I did my own research, created my own diet, and now I've healed my EOE, and I'm currently working on a cookbook. People from all over the world have requested my recipes and a cookbook, and I'm actually right now working on the vegetable chapter, where we create a lot of different vegetable casseroles from some of the vegetables that we grow on our own. And then when it's off season and we don't have a garden, we get our fruits and vegetables from a verified organic farm. And that's how we stay healthy. So if you want to stay healthy, and if you want a connection with the earth and just experiment and see what you're going to get, start a vegetable garden. You'll be glad that you did. We know that we are. Okay, thank you for watching. Any questions, you can contact me on my website or leave a comment here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.